Hello everybody and welcome to our very first trial and error podcast thingy called the Council of Night Owls. Now this is a special Christmas edition, first time and already a special edition. And we don't have anything planned, we just gathered with some foods and drinks and we're just gonna go with the flow and whatever. Joining me today, as on most videos, Nelios and the one and only Bart, or as we like to call him, Burger Bart. He thought I was going to say something else, but I didn't.
Burger Bart moet eigenlijk nog wel gepast worden. Zo.
Okay, we still have to find a new name for him. It's a working project. So I'd like to welcome my guests. We have a nice glass of Kiribu, because we tried to keep it safe. We don't want to give a bad example to all the children and Johan out there. So like I said, we don't really have any subjects planned to talk about. So we're just gonna ramble about random crap. But first off, we have a special gift for Bart here. A late birthday gift.
From Japan.
From Japan, straight from Japan, the land of the rising sun. Now Bart, when you open it, make sure that everyone on camera can have a good look. What do you expect?
I don't know. I really don't know. I wasn't expecting anything.
Just rip it open. It's not very fast with unpacking things.
I'm not a regular unboxer, so.
It's a black ball, a black orb. What shall it contain? Trial and error. Some black stuff came off of it.
Green stuff. Yeah.
I'm like, if you're not.
This is not.
Maybe I should speed up the video at this part. Oh, it's open. What does it contain?
Oh my god. It's a headgear, protection for your head.
Which head?
And what the hell is this? What the hell is this?
Show it to the camera. Show it to the camera, Bart.
I don't think it's a wise idea. What the hell is this?
What do you think it is? I'm fairly sure you know what this is.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't know.
What do you think it is?
Probably something disgusting coming from you. So. This is children can also watch, or?
What's your definition of children?
Below 18?
I don't think they really watch it. I think maybe people over 18 with the IQ of below 18 watch it, but I don't think really children younger than 18 watch our channel.
I think it's a suction cup for your head.
Suction cup. Such outlandish words.
A flashlight.
Is it a flashlight?
Come on.
A tea? Something like that.
You put your
Yeah, you're almost right. It's like a flashlight, but it's not a flashlight. I think the preferred term for this is a cock sleeve.
Oh my god.
So you're now the proud owner of your very own cock sleeve.
That goes in the closet. Damn. Come on.
You can,
A Japanese cock sleeve.
Made from squid, I guess.
I don't know. And a free condom.
you can buy it in the supermarket in Japan.
What?
Yeah, actually, in Japan, they sell sex toys in the supermarket. They actually have a section with sex toys. They have like a rayon filled with flashlights and cock sleeves, and you can even buy T-shirts of the brand. It's like normal there. You just see people taking their groceries and like, oh, cock sleeve, I'm gonna buy that too.
You see
Oh,
even
wow.
commercials.
No.
It's like a party and all having.
Yeah, they're all,
Flashlights
they're
in
all
their
holding
hands.
flashlights and cock sleeves, and they're dancing at the beach, and there's music playing, and it's a commercial. And it's playing there on big TVs. It's crazy.
Damn.
Welcome to Japan, boy.
I think I'm gonna reconsider to visit Japan.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like Japan.
Yes.
Strange.
I like how you're pretending to be all innocent now, but we all know you're perverted. Son of a bitch.
I'm not perverted. I'm not perverted. No.
Right then, now before you're going to start lying some more, let's talk about something else.
I'm not lying because my nose isn't growing. Something else is.
Okay, now definitely going to change the subject.
You're a food.
Right then. Yeah. Conventions this year. Overall opinions. Now I know you didn't do any conventions this year.
Yes, I know.
Do you think it's a shame or are you just like, fuck it? Fuck conventions. 'Cause I don't know what your opinion is about Belgian conventions, because I think you have a different perspective about it than we do, because we're already fans of most of the anime stuff, a lot of the cosplays, we're familiar with the scene more than you are.
I'm not so interested in cosplay as I used to be. I'm not so interested in anime. I'm more I'm more invested in hardware and the technological side of things.
Now, the few times I've been to a convention with you, you also seemed rather interested in the hardware of certain female cosplayers.
There's some nice cosplayers. There's some weird cosplayers.
Examples.
There's some crazy, nice cosplayers, I think also.
No, I'm not crazy nice. It's not.
Have you ever had
Not
any
in.
interaction with certain cosplayers?
Yeah, I took a picture of a woman once. She was dressed as Abby Shuto from NCIS.
Yeah,
Formerly
I remember
NCIS.
that cosplayer, but I'm not so sure if it was a woman.
It was. Yeah, and I posted on the banner of my Facebook, and all of her friends thought I was a pervert. It was not okay, so I removed it. But just a photo. It was it's nothing sexual, nothing of that. It was just a freaking photo with her in the lab coat.
Yeah, I remember. That was your first experience with the drama side of cosplay.
Yeah, and that I'm not interested in that at all. At all.
Have you ever cosplayed, or you said I'm not interested in cosplay?
No, and no,
Did you have cosplay? I have to remember.
no.
No.
I know that for a fact. I never did the cosplay.
Okay.
He did a couple of times, but I'm not. I'm not too fond of it to.
Would you ever cosplay? Like, let's say somebody, let's say there's a Master Chief armor, and I know you really like Master Chief, and the people behind Master Chief
Yep.
are like, listen, we want you to do this cosplay as a favor for us, and
A favor? No. No.
and what if they pay you?
They paid me lots of money.
What is a lot of money? What is the amount someone would have to pay you to wear a cosplay?
200,000 or so.
What if they said you would get the newest game of them for free?
No. No. I'm not too fond to do a cosplay. It's my opinion.
What about you, Martin? Did you ever cosplay?
Not yet. But
Would you cosplay?
Maybe.
Do you have a character in mind you would love to cosplay?
Not really. Just
There's not even just like a fantasy. Like you don't have to. Let's pretend you don't have to make the cosplay. You don't have to pay for it. They just ask you what is the cosplay you would love to do, and they would just give you the costume. It would be a perfect costume.
I think Dr. Zoidberg.
That's a nice one. You don't have anything like that?
No.
Or
No, really not.
Dr. Farnsworth from Futurama also.
I like the shows, I like the characters, some shows and some video games, but I'm not too eager to make a costume and to put it on for 1 or 2 days a year. No, it's not me.
Okay.
Would you be a cosplay photographer? Would that be something that would interest you?
No, I'm not a photographer. So
If you go to a convention, what are you looking for? What is your idea of a good time on a convention?
games, some hardware, some consoles maybe, some graphic cards or something more on the PC side. And that's not, we don't have that here at a convention.
We don't have it at usual conventions. You would assume we would go, but you also have PC or gaming conventions. We've been to a few game conventions.
Yeah, we've been to a few game conventions, but they're always crowded. There is only 1 or 2 conventions, but they're in Canada or America. And the Linus Tech Tips. They have a convention. It's in July this next year. I don't know the specific date, and it's 2 days. So you can chat with Luke or chat with Linus or with his crew, and overnight, from the day to the next day, there's going to be a LAN party. And they have a stand with 30 VR glasses, so but it's expensive. And the other thing is more PAX.
Oh, PAX. Yeah, PAX is.
That's,
I think PAX is right behind E3 when it comes to
I think so.
game conventions.
Yeah. There are.
But I think PAX is more chiller than it.
Yeah, they're changing now. They're more open than they used to be. Because I was the WAN show, Linus Tech Tips, his show, And Luke of the Metro is a very big, how do you call it? He goes to every PAX convention and he sees it change it a lot. So he thinks it's now better than before because it's more open.
So let's say they would tell you, look, Bart, we're giving you a convention ticket for the whole convention, the whole duration of the convention. We're paying for your plane, we're paying for your hotel, your expenses, whatever, if you wear a cosplay for 1 day.
My answer will be no.
He drives a hard bargain.
I do in my free time whatever the hell I want. And nobody is gonna tell me you have to put a costume for 1 day. Nope.
He's a hard man.
I'm not into that.
Okay.
I want to have fun at the convention. I want to see some things. I want to maybe play some things, but not in a costume.
What's the best convention you've been to
Oh,
so far?
it's a long time that I've been at a convention, but facts, I think, and actually I don't know anymore. It's been too long.
I think it also was the one we went to in London MCM Expo.
Yeah, that was a good convention. That was a great convention. But here in Belgium, the conventions are not that big.
Yeah, fact is becoming bigger, but at the expense of its I think it's lost its soul a bit. It's like very corporate right now. They're just trying to squeeze more money out of you at this point.
Yeah,
it's like every year is basically the same.
Here in Belgium, you cannot do that because Belgium is so small.
No, you can make a big convention because
Yeah, you can make a big convention, but when you treat it like a company and you squeeze a lot of money out of it, in this little country, you're doomed. You're so doomed.
Yeah, but they're still trying it anyway. It's each year
and
the prizes are getting bigger.
And at some point, the people will say enough and will not go, and there goes facts.
Their only point they have now is there's really no convention at this moment that can compete with them. Because before you had AntwerpCon, they just bought it. And then they're like, okay.
They bought AntwerpCon?
They bought AntwerpCon and they destroyed it. They were like, gone.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's, anytime a convention almost rivals them, they try to buy them out and then they destroy them.
Yeah, and it's easy for them because they are the biggest and
they have all the money.
So,
but when the time comes, another convention pops up, it starts to rival them, they try to buy it out, and that convention is like, fuck off, then they're screwed, I think.
yeah, but you have to. When a big company offers you a lot of money to buy them over, yeah, most of them would take it.
It depends what kind of person is running that convention. If you are somebody that's...
Yeah, but you have to conquer them.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to do because they have the money and you have nothing. Or you have a less budget. So
yeah, but that's the point. You don't need more budget to beat them. You need the people to stand behind you.
yeah, but it's not so easy.
No, I never said it was easy. It's hard. It's
Yeah,
very hard.
Very hard.
So you just have to have a team behind you that's driven and ready to do what's necessary.
And a community of people who want to go.
Yeah, but a community, you're not getting a community over day.
No, I know.
No, it will take years and years. You have to start small,
but,
always.
Yeah, but years and years, you don't have years and years to conquer facts. Because maybe you got 1 year and the convention is reasonable, but then facts came, they bring a whole lot of money and you're barely covering your expenses, you're done.
Yeah, you have to build it up, huh?
Yeah, you have to build it up, but when you just start and make plans for a convention center, and the people will not show up.
Yeah, then you're fucked.
Yeah, but that's what's gonna happen.
No, that's not what's gonna happen, huh? You just have to make sure you don't
Do it on date.
Yeah, you don't do it on a date of facts or anywhere close it to facts. And that's also the difficult point, because at the moment you have too much conventions in Belgium. You have facts and then a bunch of smaller conventions, and their type of conventions, they don't really know what they want, or they all want to be a clone of facts, and that's the problem. People are like, oh, your convention is a clone of facts, why go there when we can go to facts itself? No, you have to make your own concept. It's a bit like, at this moment I have to give props to Atsusacon, because that's what they do. They have their own concept. It's okay, it's a shitty weeb convention, but they have their own thing, and they have their own community, and it works because they're still alive against all odds. The convention is still alive, and that's where I have to give them big props to still be able to survive like this without turning into another clone of facts. But it's still a fucking weeb convention. Did you ever go to a Atsusacon? I think you have.
I'm not so sure. I think I had. Was it not at the Japanese Gardens?
No, that was something else.
Oh.
That was a festival type thing, I think. I think you've been there, you just don't remember.
I don't want to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but things like that. That's not. I'm not so interested in those type of conventions things.
You remember Atsusacon, right?
Yes.
What was your experience there?
First
Was it your first time at Atsusacon?
First time.
Yeah, it was your first time, right? Like, as a first timer, what was your expectations before going in there?
A little bit more organized, a bigger hall, but okay, that's not the big problem, but it was...
What did you, before you went in there, and what did you think the convention would be in your head? What expectations did you make in your head before going in there, before experiencing
something
the actual...
like facts.
But more Asian oriented.
Yes, more Asian oriented, smaller actually than fact, but still like facts, but smaller.
And now that you actually went there, you experienced the whole convention, what is your opinion on it?
It was nothing like facts. It was actually a bit strange for your first time if you go there. A lot of people watching you from mainly because of you were there with me, so
now it's all my fault.
but they were always watching you in at a certain point.
Now he makes it sound like I'm some sort of famous person in Belgium. That's not true at all. Like, people at conventions just watch me because they're pissed off at me. That's bottom line. That is somewhere in the past I've pissed them off, and the thing about people at conventions is they get pissed off and triggered super easy online, but they don't know how to react to it. So they just stare at you at convention and think like, oh, I stared mean at them, I got them. That's basically the reason. Continue.
Yeah, but it's fun, and it's sometimes so a little bit annoying. But it was small, mainly fan-made stuff. Also, it's more for fan action actually. In a certain point, it was all mashed up. All the stores were mashed up, so you couldn't actually get past easily. But they could have helped that without problem. But in effect, not very experienced with organizing stuff. But yeah, something.
Would you go back next year?
If the price maybe is good, maybe. If it is a little bit lower because I found it a little bit cheaper
Yeah,
than it is.
The ticket prices were very expensive for the size and what the convention offers. The funny thing is, we made a little video there. I posted it on YouTube, and one of the people running the conventions, I'm not gonna say names, but you know who you are if you're watching this, actually sent me a message, all triggered as fuck, because we made in the whole video, I think we only made a few negative comments. We held back pretty much, and this guy was like, "Oh, you don't know how to run a convention, and we need to charge ticket prices this high, or we're making a loss," and blah blah blah. Now I didn't respond to it because at this point it's just throwing oil on the fire, and I'm lazy. But like, if you have to charge ticket prices that high, or your convention is going bankrupt, then I think there's a problem with the way you run your convention. I think that's my opinion, because I think it's easy to charge a decent price for your ticket and still have a good convention. And if I think the main reason is because of the location, they have to pay a lot for the location, and my thing is just like, try to find a new location, try to find a better location. Well, okay, that's just my opinion. So now my question for both of you is, you first, Bart, if you have to make your own convention, what would the convention look like? What would there be to do? Who would you invite? You don't have to look at budget or whatever. This is a dream thing. They're just like, we give you a ton of money, a ton of resources, make your own convention. Who will you invite as special guest?
I don't know. The main special guests that I want are unpayable. So.
No, but this is a fantasy. You name it, they'll be there.
Okay, Steve from Gamers Nexus. I would like to be there because he's a really good tech reviewer who goes deep into the details. Linus from Linus Tech Tips. Luke from Floatplane. And maybe Kyle and Bitwit.
Any celebrities?
Those are my celebrities.
No, but I mean movies, series, book writers.
Yeah, book writers, James Rollins, Matthew Riley, and Chris Ryan, and what was the other? Clive Cussler.
No movie stars?
Not in particular, really. I watched a couple of movies this year, and maybe Jason Momoa, or what's it called? I don't know its name anymore. The guy who's gonna play Crackdown 3, Terry Crews.
Ah, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, but about those two.
And what kind of booths would you have at convention? What would be the main focus? Hardware? PC hardware?
PC hardware and
gaming?
Maybe some console hardware, but mostly PC hardware.
Gaming? Games? Video games?
Yeah, but I don't know. You have to, when you make a convention and you're gonna focus on gaming, there are not a lot of games you can
show
or play. Mostly CSGO, now Fortnite or PUBG, I think it is, but maybe Halo, but not something like The Witcher or...
yeah, you're talking about holding tournaments now in game rooms.
No.
But I'm talking about booths selling video games.
Selling video games, mostly PC games and console games.
Yeah.
And maybe some hardware.
Some hentai games too?
No. Just the regular games.
Well, then I'm not coming.
But
So basically, you told PC convention.
yeah, and maybe there's some stands where you can buy graphics cards or motherboards or fans or something like that. So
How would you call it?
I don't know.
BartCon.
No, it has to be an attractive name, but I'm not that good at making names for those things.
Technical.
So yeah, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not good at these things or making convention. It's not my expertise or style. So
How about you?
It would be about cosplayers may come from movies to games, mostly to a bit of hobbyist convention. Then from special guest would be like Bart, Jason Momoa. Yeah. It's a very strange name for me, but I like how he plays the characters in movies, and maybe one of a character of the character who plays Venom.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tom Hardy. He's awesome. I watched Venom and he is awesome.
Did you watch Venom yet?
Pieces on YouTube.
Yeah, I also just watched pieces on YouTube. It looks like the type of movie you watch, and it's fun as long as you don't think too much about where it actually belongs in the Spider-Man universe. Because my opinion is, if you go deeper into that, it doesn't make any sense. Because to me, Venom is the counterpart of Spider-Man. Venom was created, if you follow the comics or the main line, because of Spider-Man.
Not really, because in another storyline, it's Venom was created by somebody in the universe.
That's another story, like another universe probably.
Yeah, but in the movie he's not created.
Yeah, but he comes from space, no?
Yeah.
But that's already.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah, I do not have read any comics or so.
Yeah.
So I just watched the movies.
I mostly know Venom personally from the originals. Not the original, but the Spider-Man cartoon I watched as a kid. I think it's the 90s one. And there it's Venom comes from space with an astronaut, and he attaches himself to Spider-Man. And he makes Spider-Man more aggressive and blah blah blah. So Spider-Man decides to get it off, and he finds out loud noises or vibrations, gets it off. So he crawls up into a clock tower and he starts ringing the bell. And the suit, it comes off him and it drips down. Now below him is Eddie Brock. Because he's been after Spider-Man, because Spider-Man made a fool of him and he wants revenge. He wants pictures of Spider-Man doing something evil. And the suit or Venom falls on him at this point, making Venom. So he's basically like, he looks like Spider-Man but a lot more muscular, and he's basically like made from Eddie Brock's hatred for Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
That's not in the movie.
Yeah, because
the hate for Spider-Man is not in the movie. So Venom is now kind of displayed as an anti-hero.
Now, of course, in the later comics, he also becomes somewhat of an anti-hero.
Because when Venom tries to do something, and Hardy tells him, no, that's not right. So it's actually
there's no connection to the.
No.
Any other?
I think not. They have other.
But I think Stan Lee has a cameo in it, right?
Yes. He has a cameo.
Yeah, he has a cameo in it. So, but it's a good movie.
Now at this point, I think we should do a little toast for the late Stan Lee. Bless his soul. Yeah. Rest in peace. He was one hell of a guy, I have to say.
Didn't see that one coming.
Well, he was pretty old, but I think most of us expected him to live forever in a way.
Yes.
And in a way, he will live forever.
Yeah.
He was 90 in the 90s.
Yeah, in his 90s, I think.
I think 97.
Yeah.
Yes, something like that.
The only movie that I'm gonna wait to watch because my co-worker's birthday is coming up is Aquaman. I really want to see that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of DC,
No.
but maybe.
Yeah, but I think Jason Momoa plays. I think he's gonna play such a good role.
In
Yeah,
that
I
case,
think
Because
I think from
when my perspective is, I watched Stargate Atlantis. I watched Ronin in Stargate Atlantis. Ronin was played by Jason Momoa.
yeah, I like it.
So he was someone in Atlantis. Now he's gonna play Aquaman, King of Atlantis. I think when that's it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
I watched a little bit of Justice League.
Yeah,
it was-
Justice League was not so. It was a good movie.
We're losing your head there.
It was a
Just
good,
like a part of his body, you can see it's like the Headless Horseman.
it was a good movie, but yeah, Marvel movies are better. But when you have to go to the series, DC are making better series than Marvel.
That's true. And also better animation movies.
I did not watch any animation movies, but I wanna watch Into the Spider-Verse. I think
I
it's very
hear,
good.
yeah, I think that's a good one too. But overall, DC makes better animation movies, I think.
And I never watched. Any
And Marvel
animation
makes better
movies.
video games.
Yeah, yeah. Look at Spider-Man at the PlayStation 4.
That's amazing.
And I'm so bummed that it didn't come out for PC or Xbox.
I have it. It's a great game.
It's a very great game.
The
I
only
watched
problem-
the playthrough from all the shinies and it's awesome.
The only problem I had was the whole DLC thing, where they announced the DLC before they actually released the game.
Yeah,
It's
but
like they already had the DLC ready.
yeah, but it's in some other games also. Look at Darksiders 3. They announced the DLC a couple of days before the game was released.
They didn't get any shit for that.
I don't know,
Because
I don't know.
I know Spider-Man got a lot of shit for it, so
but Spider-Man for the current gen, at this point, it looks awesome.
yeah, it's an amazing game.
It's an amazing game. And the same goes to Red Dead Redemption 2. The amount of manpower and the amount of concept and I don't know what it's called.
environment graphics.
Yeah,
Are you playing it?
no, I'm not playing it because it's not my kind of game.
Mm.
But I think it's awesome. I think it's very good for the community. Those games.
Well, I have it here, but I haven't played it a lot yet. But the beta is also out now for the
Online version.
and I'm having some doubts about that because I'm afraid they're going to run it into the ground like they did with Grand Theft Auto Online.
Now,
Because I've seen a ton of reviews from people who've played the beta, and they just say it's all they're really trying to push you to microtransactions.
yeah, because I heard now that they're selling, I don't know what's it called, for real money, for real gold, and it's gonna happen one of those days, or it's happened already. So I don't know. I have to look into that more.
Yeah, the thing was you have to buy certain items with
Yeah.
gold or whatever. I'm not really that familiar with the game yet. I only played it for like 10 minutes. And the thing, like I don't know if they already patched it or changed it or whatever, because I've heard they have listened to the complaints and they're trying to fix it, but will they or have they, I don't know yet. But the thing was, like you had a shotgun in the game and it costed a certain amount of gold,
Yeah.
a lot of gold, and for each mission or whatever you did, you were only rewarded a few
Yeah.
pieces of gold.
I know.
And then they were like, you could buy big amounts of gold for actual cash in their shop.
Because that was when I watched the playthrough of All the Shinies. I'm currently watching it more because I didn't watch it the whole thing. But he had the same problem because he wanted to buy something. It was
This was in the beta online, right?
no, it's in the game.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the regular game. So he wants to buy something. It was really expensive, and when you do a mission, you get almost nothing. So you have to grind and grind and grind and grind.
Yeah, but that was in the base game, right?
In the base game, yeah.
Because they say that in the online version, those
Yeah.
prices are
Yeah.
like tripled.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's not that's not good. That's not good.
Or that's
Example.
what I understood, because
It's quite painfully because I think Rockstar is a great game developer.
yeah, but they're
But
going
they're
the
going
EA
3D.
way when it comes to microtransactions. That's a
Yeah, but
shame,
they're
I think.
going 3D.
Yeah,
They're going real greedy, and that was not happening before.
no. Well, it was happening. I think halfway during the runtime of the Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
Online,
Yeah,
and it started to really hit
yeah,
quite
and
badly.
yeah, and I think when that was successful,
Yeah, they were
they're
like.
gonna put it in every game. So
The thing was, at a certain point, Grand Theft Auto Online was, unless you made your own private sessions, it was basically unplayable if you weren't a person pouring a lot of money into the game. Because I remember playing online with him, and you would just get killed all the time by people who very obviously spent a lot of money on the game, and they had like flying cars firing heat-seeking missiles at you, and you had no chance. You were loaded into the game,
Yeah.
and if there was only one person like that in that game, he would fuck you up all the time.
I never played Grand Theft Auto.
It's fun. It's
No.
fun. Like, as long as you didn't end up in a session with one of those people, you had a ton of fun.
Yeah, but I never played the base game or the online version. That's not. Then those games are not for me. I like more RPGs or ARPGs, action RPGs, or something like that.
Yeah, I like RPGs too. My favorite genre is RPG.
But
What kind of RPGs do you play? Because I don't really.
now it's not something. It's a variation of an RPG. It's Darksiders 3. I don't think you can call it an RPG. The two,
It's more of an
Darksiders 2 is more RPG, and that was a very great game. A very great game.
But you don't really play any classic RPGs, like, for example, Final Fantasy, with more of a turn-based action system.
No, turn-based is not my kind of
You're
game.
more of the action
Yeah.
packed RPGs.
Yeah, the
Did
action
you
packed
play
might be-
Skyrim?
Yeah, but I have my. I think personally.
You're not really into fantasy.
I think personally that's not kind of my game. I like Diablo 3 more.
But that's more strategy, right?
No,
No.
no,
Oh wait, no, I'm
no. You can build a character and you can play, and you have different kinds of levels like normal, hard, torment, torment 2, torment 4, torment 20 or something.
yeah, I was
So-
sorry, for some reason Dungeon Keeper popped into my head.
Dungeon Keeper is an awesome game. And Dungeon Keeper 2 is also an awesome game. And damn you, Microsoft, for not bringing us Dungeon Keeper 3.
Threaten them in the camera.
Yeah, it's not gonna help, so
No, just do it anyway.
the company is broke. So
You can still threaten people.
no, not Microsoft is broke, but the company they used to make Dungeon Keeper is broke. Bullfrog is no more. The same as the company of Total Annihilation. It's also broke. Cavedog is also not more. So, and it kind of sucked because those two games were awesome.
Okay. I haven't played those games.
Rise of Nations, Rise of Legends. They're awesome games. Rise of Nations and Legends, you can almost compare it to them to Age of Empires, especially in Rise of Nations. Rise of Legends is more on the fantasy side-ish, but it's a really good game, in my opinion. But you cannot play it anymore, not on new kinds of game systems. And the Rise of Nations you can play because they have, I think it's 4 years ago, they re-released it with updated graphics and all those things. And I'm waiting for them to do the same with the Rise of Legends, but I don't think it's going to happen. And it's very, very bad.
Maybe we can talk about games that are coming out.
Actually, I don't. Yeah, Doom. I don't know what's the official name because the new Doom. It looks like kind of cool. It looks an improvement over Doom 2016. I think it was when the latest Doom came out. I think it's very good because the first Doom 2016 was awesome. Was very good. I hope the next Doom will be also. Then Wolfenstein. They're coming in a new game out.
Another game.
Another game, yep. I don't know what's it called, and I don't know when it's gonna come out. But Halo Infinite. That is going to be so awesome. I watched the trailer. Well, the trailer of it, and it looks way better than Halo 5, but way better. It's, yeah, I don't know, and they have developed a new engine. They have a new team working on it, so yeah, I think it's going to be great. Microsoft is really doing its job on getting first party games. The amount of money they put into studios, they bought studios, they even show up at studios and said, what games do you want to make? So the studio said, what budget are we talking about? No, we are Microsoft, we have money, so what games you want to make? So, and that's good.
Yes,
because the first party games at Xbox are not so many. You have Halo, Forza, Gears, and that's all about it. So I hope for Microsoft with the extra companies, I think it's 8 now they bought, and including one they redeveloped. And I hope they make a decent amount of first party games, but I think it's not going to be for this current gen, but I think it's for the next gen. I think Halo Infinite is also be for the next gen and not on the current gen.
What's your opinion on VR?
I never played VR. I doubt I will play
So
VR.
you're not interested at all in VR?
I'm not so interested in VR. I don't know, the games are not so, it doesn't interest me in the games.
And what about its applications on PC?
Actually, I never read anything about it, I just keep it actually, it's not my kind of tea.
Would you do a VR for playing Halo?
No. I think the technology behind it is very good, very awesome, but it's not for me. I like to play with a controller or keyboard mouse or something, but not with glasses on my head and making movements like an idiot.
It's too active for you.
No, it's not too active, but
It's too active for you.
No, it's not too active for me. It's not too active for me, but
it's too active for you.
Really? When I say it's not active, it's not that, but it's I don't know. It's not
natural for you.
Yeah.
That's just a nice way of saying too active for you.
Come on.
You're going in with the X, I go.
But the technology behind it is good, but there are not so many games that are optimized for it. Really optimized for it.
But do you think it has a future?
When the big game developers are spending money on it, I think it's going to be great.
I think eventually they are going to do that, because Bethesda has already made Skyrim for VR, and
I think Doom also.
yeah, so they're definitely starting with it.
They're starting with it, but that's the thing with those companies. They're starting with it, and they see it's not profitable. They're gonna shut it down. They're gonna stop making things for it. So it's kind of hit or miss.
To me, it's hit and miss, because if you want to, my little brother has a VR system in his room, actually a very small room that he has right now, but it's looking at, you don't hit anything, the sensors don't fall, and you have
but that's the problem with it. With VR, you have to be at a big room, a big space all around you, and that's not applicable for everybody. Not everybody has that kind of space. So I think it's more like a niche.
If there was like an arcade, like the ones we went to in Japan, they have like special departments for VR games with a big space.
Yeah, but that's an arcade. That's not in someone's living
No. My question was, would you try that?
No. I'm not into that. It's not.
It's too active for you.
No.
just say yes, and he will stop with it.
No, that's not the point. I think the games are made for it are not my kind of thing. They're not. That's not for me. It's not because I'm not active or something. That's nothing to do with that. Really
so
nothing.
It has everything to do with that.
No, it's nothing to do with that. You're gonna stop, alright?
He's getting angry. But
he doesn't punch back because it's too active for him. Okay, so VR is not your cup of tea.
No.
Because it's too active for you.
Really?
Now, next subject. You have to think about something not too active.
Dude, stop it.
Do you have any? Now you mentioned you have some vacation plans planned for next year.
Yeah, in July, I have to look at the date. I'm going to Canada to visit my sister and her boyfriend, because she's pregnant and she's going to have a baby.
That usually happens when you're pregnant.
I don't know. We don't know. So
surprise.
yeah, it's a surprise, and we are going to visit her for a week. I guess. I think it is.
Are you going to be the godfather of the child?
I don't know.
What are your expectations? Do you think they will ask you or not?
I don't know.
Would
it's
you-
her decision. It's not
But
my
would
decision.
you like to be asked?
Yeah, I would like to be asked, but that's the thing. When she lives in Belgium and she asks it, it's okay.
Yeah, you're afraid you
Because-
won't see the child enough.
Of course. She lives in Canada.
But you could also make an arrangement there for the summer vacation. The kid can stay with you, with Uncle Bart. Eh?
Yeah.
They can have all
But
kinds
we-
of wacky
but-
adventures.
What we do, we call with WhatsApp. So that's another way to see it, but yeah, it's not the same. So, and then in November, I'm going to Gran Canaria
Now tell us more specifically, what sort of things do you do in Gran Canaria?
Drink.
And?
Drink.
And?
Drink.
Now,
Actually,
how do you feel most days at Gran Canaria, starting from morning to evening?
morning I'll go to the bar, I order a mojito. Then we have breakfast. Then we go to the pool, I listen to some music with a couple of mojitos. Then at midday, I guess it's called.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, we have some dinner. Then we drink some mojito. Again, especially me. So, and then in the evening,
You drink some more mojito.
yeah, yeah.
And your
It's like-
parents, what do they?
They like to walk, so they go on to a different city.
They do excursions,
No, not excursions.
but
No.
they do stuff.
They do stuff.
And you're like, no,
I like to read.
and
so-
drink.
Yeah. So I'm sitting in the chair with my book and with
At the
mojito.
pool.
Yeah, at the pool, or somewhere else, because I don't know it's the same hotel we are staying at, because the last hotel had a pretty big garden with also a bar in it, so that's good for me. But there was no pool. But
And the drinks are all included in the whole.
yeah, we when my parents go, we have all in, so everything in.
included.
So it starts with the airplane. So we get a glass of champagne, a decent meal on the plane. So, and when we arrive at a hotel, we get a glass of champagne, and then the drinking starts. So the first day is the hardest. It's not the hardest, but you have to drink a lot. So
No, you don't have to drink a lot. You choose to drink a
No,
lot.
you have to drink
But
a lot.
alcohol, he drinks alcohol.
No, you have to drink a lot.
They made me do it.
Because yeah, are you gonna say no to someone when they offer you a glass of champagne 2 times in the plane?
Well, no.
I'm not either. I'm gonna drink it.
But I don't
But-
drink.
but-
I don't drink
but
from morning
do you-
to evening.
But do you even say no when you arrive at the hotel and they ask you, would you have 2 glasses of champagne? Would
No.
you say no?
No.
I do not. So that's a 3 glasses of champagne you had.
But it's like throughout the day, someone always coming to you like, would you like a glass of mojito? Would you like a glass of mojito? Would you like a glass of mojito?
Sometimes, especially in the morning.
Yeah, probably for you personal, because they already know you there.
Yeah, the second day they already know me there. So the second day the waiter comes at me, do you want to have a mojito, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, that's good. He know what I wanted. So
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, that's one way to go on vacation, I guess. Do you have any dream locations you would like to visit someday?
well, I've been to New York. I would like to see the other side of America.
The West Coast?
Yeah,
And any
the,
cities?
the more nature kind of it.
Oh, the stuff I saw last time I was in the States, like Yosemite Park, Grand Canyon.
Yeah, that's the things I want to visit.
You do know that's a lot of walking, right?
I have no problem with that. I can walk.
Last time you told me you didn't like New York because you had to walk a lot.
No, New York was.
Those were your words. I had to walk a lot.
No, New York was actually disgusting to walk in. Especially at the subways. When
Yeah,
there's a
but-
guy over there sitting right over you and he's going to sleep. Almost. That's not cool.
That's New York. I think that's
New York.
That's what make New York. I remember when I was in New York as a kid, me and my parents and my brother, we went to the subway, and like across of us was a bum with his naked feet, and he was like using like these small plastic forks you used to
Fries,
for your
Yeah.
fries. he was like using them to scrape that skin from his feet. And I remember seeing it and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna stare at it, because you know, when you see shit like that, you want to not stare at it, but you end up staring at it. It's like a train wreck. And look at my brother, and he's like hypnotized by it. He's staring at it like hypnotized. And I'm like, don't stop looking at him, stop. And just at that moment, the bomb looks him right in the eye. And he's just like, it's for my feet, boy, it's for my feet.
And but that's the thing I do not like.
Well, it's not, I don't think it's for me it's not like a thing of liking or not liking, it's just like part of the vibe in New York. That's a bit like going to Las Vegas and expecting people not trying to rip you off.
Yeah, but
just have to.
When we first came to New York, especially in New York City, and the streets are so filthy, that was really, really gross. And the smell, and
yeah, I know.
Wow, that was a whole kind of another level. It's not for me, and because it's way too busy for me.
Well, I personally enjoyed New York, but it's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it was interesting because we have watched the Boulevard with all the big screens, and it was not
Times
so.
Square.
Yeah, it was not so impressive for me.
Yeah, because in the movies it looks like a huge place, and in real life it's more condensed.
It was pretty huge, but it was not.
That's what she said.
That's one way to put it,
but of course it's a matter of preference and opinion. I personally really liked New York, but a big city I didn't really dislike is a big word, but I didn't really like that much. Was Los Angeles. No, it was also busy, crowded, and you also have the heat. It's very hot.
Yeah.
And in cities like that, concrete jungles, it gets even hotter.
Yeah, there's only one place in Los Angeles that I want to visit.
Hollywood Boulevard.
Nope, the headquarters of Jay-Z 2 Cents. No, he's a pretty good YouTuber, a very good YouTuber. I want to visit Linus from Linus Tech Tips in Canada. And I don't think it's possible, but in July, when we go to Canada, in Vancouver, he's going to host his convention.
What was his name again?
Linus. Linus Tech Tips.
Shout out to Linus. Please invite Bart to visit you in Canada. We will have many mojitos with you.
Yeah, make sure you.
I don't think he's going to watch it because he doesn't. Personally, he doesn't watch YouTube a lot.
I'm going to send this video to him.
He does not watch any YouTube.
No, I'm going to send this video to him.
Yeah.
I'm going to save it on a USB stick. Go to Canada. Go to his door. Kick down his door, and force him.
I don't think
by gunpoint to watch the video.
I don't think it's going to be possible. No, but that's in that I want to. That's the thing I want to do. Not a gun, but visit the convention.
With a gun. Bart will visit conventions with a gun in 2019.
No.
Security, please keep a lookout for this man. He's a very dangerous individual. Has guns, always armed.
There's only one gun I have, but you have to. I'm not gonna say that. I think it's inappropriate.
Not just said it so.
My gun should have a different kind of bullet. The white bullet.
The spray kind of bullet.
It's like one bullet, but a whole lot of bullets.
It's like a shotgun. There's a lot of spray.
but
Most of it ending up on your window.
or on the walls.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So it's kind of sucked that I'm not going to be able to visit his convention. So
Please invite Bart to your convention. He will not bring a gun. He promises to not bring a gun.
yeah, you're not getting invited at those kind of conventions. This is his second convention. He's trying to grow into the scene. He's but I don't think you can get invited. So
I'll get you.
even the big YouTubers like Steve from Gamers Nexus, Kalle from Pitwit, also they are going, but they have to buy a ticket. So
How about I'll get you invited to a Tsusakon?
no, no, hell no.
We can tell them you're some kind of voice actor for some anime.
Yeah, no.
Or how about the erotica convention?
I've been to it once. It was 10 years ago, I guess. Actually, it was nothing spectacular. So
But an American one. With actual porn stars visiting.
I don't know.
And you can hang out with your dad.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You don't want to hang out with your dad.
I have my dad. It is not so far from here.
Yeah, but you have another dad in America.
No.
A spiritual dad.
Yeah, your spiritual dad.
No.
Are you denouncing him?
We are not going to talk about this.
Okay. Just
So
who are we talking about right now? That's all I'm gonna ask about.
Sorry.
Who?
Dude.
Okay, we're going to go. Okay, so we've been mostly talking about video gaming. Now, you mentioned you wanted to say a few words about Pokemon Go.
Let's go.
Or Let's Go. 'Cause I haven't played it yet, so I can't really say anything about it. I've made my somewhat of an opinion about it from what I've seen, but I'm not gonna comment it on this video, maybe in a later video, but you've already played it for a bit, I think?
A little bit, because in a certain point I understand they want the new generation of kids, we'll call them that, or now gamers, Pokemon gamers, from, we'll say from, look, this is Pokemon. It's more like the anime based, not bad in my opinion, but it's something like you take the wild battles out of it, what makes it a little bit too easy, because you had to structurize all your party in your head, you had to think about what you were going to do. Now it's just an unnatural, difficult way to throw a Pokeball. Fortunately, it's much more easier with the Pokeball gadget you get with a certain pack of it. But it's for a more experienced Pokemon player like us, it's so easy, boring gamingness sense.
So you would say it's mostly for younger and newer players?
Younger and newer players, or players who don't want to put a lot of effort in it.
Just like Pokemon Play it, whatever.
Yes, and for maybe nostalgic reasons.
Yeah, who don't want challenging battle components.
Yes, and also if you want to lay relaxed in your couch or in your chair, going like that, something like that. It's not.
Would you buy it for yourself?
No, I probably will rip it off at some point from my little brother when he's done with it. but I wouldn't buy it.
Bart, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Charizard.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, it's almost the only one I know. I never played any Pokemon games. I never played Pokemon Go. I don't have a Nintendo Switch or anything of Nintendo, so I only watched the early series with Ash and
Misty.
yeah, Misty
Brock.
and yeah,
No, it was Bart.
and on the other side there was
Team Rocket.
yeah, Rocket, yeah. See, it's been so long ago, so I couldn't even remember. So there's only one game at the Switch that I may reconsider is Diablo.
Nice.
Apparently the version for the Switch is very good. I haven't played it, but I read a lot of reviews and they're almost all of unanimous that it was one of the better ports they made
Okay.
for the Switch. So.
Well, I might buy a Switch soon or something. I'm really thinking about it. But yeah, it's more for Legend of Zelda and maybe a bit Pokemon. Because I'm more Nintendo oriented than you guys, I think. But for now, I have the PlayStation 4, and of course, a ton of older conventions, consoles trapped behind me in the back room. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. Now we've been talking about games, bad games, and what's wrong with the big game companies. So I'm going to mention the elephant in the room. Fallout 76.
Oh, oh my god.
Now,
really?
as someone who has purchased the Power Armor edition, which was €200.
Bought it?
Yeah, Nelios also bought it. Do I feel bad about it? Short answer is no, because the Power Armor helmet is fucking dope. It's amazing. Now, I'm not going to get any further into the game because I might do another video about it, looking more deep into it. And there's already been a ton of videos about it.
Oh, you're going to be surprised about the quality of the game.
I played the game. I have the game. I played it.
I'm sorry, but it's so poorly optimized. Wow! It's not... They can't do that anymore. The engine, there's everything wrong with it. With the engine, the game engine, it's horrible. The lightning, I watched the review of Hardware Unboxed on it. Wow! The settings you get on the PC, you get a decent amount of settings. None of them work. When you throw the shadows on Epic or on low, there's almost no effect. It's
All the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's very, very badly optimized, and I hope they're gonna patch a lot of things, but the most things they cannot patch it because it's baked into the game engine. So they have to overhaul the engine. The quality of the game looks like Fallout 4, I guess.
It's basically the same engine as far. It is the same engine.
It's the same engine.
It's the exact same.
And the problems that it have with that game, they're having it now.
Well, it's obvious this game was quickly made just with the idea of making a profit out of the Fallout name. Now, I'm going to go in detail into another video about it, so that's all I'm going to say about it. Now, I want to talk more about, I don't know if you're familiar with the canvas back incident.
Yeah, I heard of the canvas back incident.
Here's the thing. Recently they issued a message online that they were going to replace all the backs.
That should be.
Yeah.
It's their fault. So.
And the thing was, I looked it up. You have to give your take a picture or screenshot of your receipt along with your username you have on use.bethesda.net written on it, or with a little paper next to it, and then take a picture of it. Now, at first, I couldn't find my receipt. So what I did was, I was feeling a bit random, I assume. I took a selfie of myself wearing the power armor helmet with holding a note. Please stop. Yeah, I'm being handed the bag right here. This is the bag. As you can see, it's basically a trash bag painted green. It was supposed to be canvas. It's just sheet nylon. This is the poster sticking out. Yeah. So Bart, if you saw this,
I'm not going to pay $200 for that.
yeah, no. But this was just a part of the thing. But this was advertised as a.
When I looked,
You saw the picture, right?
I saw the picture, and this is nothing like the picture.
Right. So I just took a picture of myself wearing the power armor helmet and holding up a sign. Nobody keeps their receipts. Please just send me the bag. Dit and that. Please, Todd, be a good guy. So I sent it, and just a day later they just sent me a mail back. We did not accept your reply. All in all, later I did find the receipt, so I made a regular good claim for it. Now I don't know yet if they've accepted it or not, because they're taking a bit longer to respond now, so maybe that's a good thing. So yeah, hopes up.
They're like, crap, he found it.
Yeah, but Bethesda, and that's a problem, Bethesda was making really good games, and now they're not.
Yeah,
They have to completely overhaul their engine for all of the games.
Yeah,
Not only for Fallout.
They always.
There are some really big problems with the engine. When you watch the hardware unboxed video, and it's abominable. There's so many things wrong with the engine. They shouldn't have released the game in this state.
No. That's it. I've had my fun moments with the game. It's not all bad.
I never played it, but when I see the reviews, and I see a lot of reviews, a really big amount of reviews, they are all almost saying the same. So
let's keep it at that when it comes to Fallout. I see you're enjoying nachos.
Yes, I'm actually getting hungry again. Want some nachos, Bart? Sorry.
I'd rather kick you in the face.
I was thinking about mentioning it, but I was like, but he went there. He went there. Now, obviously, we have to explain the whole nacho debacle.
You don't have to explain. Nobody wants to know this. Trust me.
Well, we don't have to say names.
We can say her username.
No. Just no. Let's just call her
Person.
the girl. Girl person. The girl. Who wants to tell the story?
I'm not.
I'm
really
I wasn't
not.
there, so I.
You want? I have to tell it.
I'm not gonna tell it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna embarrass me in front of all these people.
Yeah, but it's not embarrassing for you, I think. The thing was, it's just years ago. Yeah, this happened years ago, but it's yeah.
Wasn't there.
He wasn't even born yet. I had a birthday party in the garden of my parents, and I invited a few people. Bart was one of them, and this girl/person showed up. I don't really think I invited her, but she showed up anyway. Now I think at this point you had a little crush on her. Let's be honest. Yeah.
I thought she was cute.
Yeah, he thought.
Whoa.
Now I told, because he only saw her at conventions. Now at conventions, this girl showed up fully plastered in makeup, usually in special cosplay outfits.
I never seen her in real life before
but
that.
I had, and I told him, watch out, the real deal is not like she is in her cosplay, even the way she acts or talks. Obviously he didn't believe me. So this girl shows up wearing a tracksuit, I think it was a tracksuit or sweatpants,
I don't know anymore.
with her hair like, I don't know what was going on
All
there.
over the place.
Yeah.
It was nesting a bird in there.
Yeah, but so far, like, I don't really care what you dress like or show up at.
You have to be a little bit decent.
Yeah, sure, but like, I don't really.
Okay, I have my beard, but when my beard is like this, I'm gonna shave it off. When my hair is like all over the place, it looks like a bird come.
Yeah, but that wasn't really the issue. Like I said, I don't really give a fuck about stuff like that. But the thing was, there was a big bowl of nachos at the table, and she no, it was even bigger than that. It was bigger. I think there were 2 bags of nachos poured in. This was like a huge bowl, and it was sitting on the table among the other bowls of snacks. And she's like, "Oh, I'm super hungry," and she takes the whole bowl, puts it on her lap, and just starts eating it like a wild animal, like shoving it down her face. And okay, we're all watching it like, what the fuck, but okay. And then suddenly she's like, "Oh, I have to take a pee." And I'm like, I told her, "Could you wait a few more minutes?" Because back then I still lived at my parents, and I knew they were just still cleaning the bathroom at that point. So I was like, "Can you wait a few more minutes till they're done, and then you can use the toilet?" And then she's like, "Oh no, it's no problem. I'll just go out in the back, because behind my parents' backyard was a small patch of greenery. It was some trees and some bushes and whatever. So, and she just went there behind the bush and yeah, did her thing, I guess. And then she just came back, and instead of like a normal person would do, wash their hands somewhere, she didn't even ask to wash her hands. She sat back down on her chair, took the bowl again, and just started eating it like a wild animal again. This time even more ferocious. And it's like she was chewing, and like bits of it were actually falling out of her mouth back into the bowl. And it, yeah, like it was pretty fucked up. And I was like, okay, and like, but I think for Bart it like totally mentally destroyed the image he had of this girl, because she was like this cute little girl, very feminine at conventions with perfect makeup and whatever, and then she showed up like a wild animal basically, and it did a real number on him. Like in the years following that, every time I mentioned nachos, he had to gag. Now I think he mostly got over it now. Not completely, but mostly. But yeah, it really fucked him up.
When he's telling that, it seems a little bit bad, but you have to be there. It was truly disgusting. It was really, really disgusting. I don't want to talk about it. No.
So that's a tip for you people out there, whether you're a boy or a girl. If you meet cosplayers at a convention, the way some of them act or look at the convention, that's not what they are in real life most of the time. You always have to keep that in the back of your mind when you're attracted to one of these people. Just putting that out there. So Nelios, have you felt any attractions toward certain cosplayers on conventions?
No. I think they're just characters, people playing characters, and that's it. Maybe I think, whoa, she's really hot, but I'm not like from, hey. It's like more, hey, nice costume, okay, bye.
Really, because I've seen you stare at that guy wearing the underpants on his head.
Yeah, because you are like if you see something like that, you're naturally drawn to it. Like you said with the guy on the train station. It's eventually.
I'm not.
It's something like, whoa, he's really doing it. He got the balls to do something.
No,
like that.
that's another good story. Now, the last few years, on Facts at least, there's this guy. I know it's from an anime or something, but I don't really know the name or I haven't looked into it. But it's basically a guy and he's just wearing an underpants, just in underpants. But was it like a...
Board string or
Yeah, it was some kind of string or something. And then he wears an underpants on his head. And it's from some kind of series, but I don't know what. But it's really awkward as fuck. Now, most people just look at it and are like, what the fuck, and you move on. Now, Johan is terrified of that guy. He's like, fucking terrified. And like the first time, it's like, oh yeah, look at that guy. And he's like, oh yeah, let's go away. Let's go that way. Let's go that way. And then I'm like, okay, I found something to fuck him over with. And all the time, and then all the other times we came to the convention and the guy was there, and I was like, oh look, Johan, this is your friend. And he was like, stop it. And I'm like, come on, let's go ask a picture with him. And he's like, no. And it was just so funny to just see Johan. Usually he's like the guy like, oh, I can take anything, I'm not afraid of anything. But that guy literally scared him. It was fucking funny.
It's weird how some people dress up for cosplay. Some people are disturbing. There's something wrong with it.
might think you have to see it like it's a sort of carnival. You go to
a carnival, but normal people won't show up just in underwears with a Borat string and underwear on their head.
I don't know.
I think normal people won't do that.
Have you been to some carnivals? Because they do that. They do that, Bart. It's
when they're under influence of liquor.
Not necessarily.
Oh, wow.
No, I think everyone should be able to cosplay or dress up at that time as what they want.
Yeah,
as long as they don't go overboard. As long as there's no nudity, because you have to always remember there's children walking around. If it's an 18+ convention, then go ahead, do whatever the fuck you want. I've been to 18+ conventions. They're very amusing. But yeah, that's my take on it. So yeah.
Yeah, but some of the people at conventions are just grown people acting like children, and that's disturbing me.
That's basically the point of a convention, to be a kid again.
Yeah, but you don't know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Like those dudes from.
You have to watch out what you're saying now, because slippery slope.
See, that's what I mean. That's just bullshit, you know? I'm just sitting with bullshit. Jesus.
I find a little bit truth in both of you. Who in a point, they can go overboard in a certain point, but they mustn't also be oversensitive what other people think about them.
No, there's an organization.
Yeah, that's what I agree with you. You're entitled to your opinion about it. You can say it's not for me, and I think it's stupid.
That organization ruins everything.
Yeah,
it used to. I don't know now because in this year I don't haven't go a lot to conventions. But when I go to the conventions, there's only one group, and I don't know what's wrong with those people, but I didn't do anything to them, and they're looking at me really strange, really angry. I don't know what's up with them. It's strange. They're so hostile, and I don't know why.
You're talking about a group at a convention, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say the name.
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea who you mean.
Yeah.
And the reason they look funny at you at those conventions is because they know you're a friend of mine and they're pissed off at me.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. That's why. Why?
That's the negative thing about being a friend with me and going to the conventions. I've pissed off a ton of people at conventions.
But
And I know it's stupid they look at you because
I haven't done anything to them.
yeah, that's
At least not on my knowledge.
I know, but you have to. These people, they have a different mindset. They feed
Do they
on.
have a mind?
Yeah,
But because I really doubt it at some points.
but they feed on drama. It's like
Yeah, and that drama, I don't care about that drama. I don't care about any of it.
But then again,
That's.
but then again, do you want to be in contact with these people?
No,
Then
hell no.
then
Why would I be in contact with them?
then like you shouldn't give a fuck about them staring at you. You should be like, you know,
No,
fuck it.
Yeah,
Because they
I'm not giving a fuck about them, but usually it starts with staring and then it gets worse and then my name gets damaged on Facebook.
no,
or
they don't know
something.
your name.
And when they do that, oh,
I
they're
highly-
under a big
no.
surprise.
Besides, they don't have the balls to do that.
I hope so. Because when they do that, I'm pretty sure they do not have any balls anymore.
Okay. So much for cosplay drama.
Yeah, it's just bullshit. I'm just a customer. I'm just walking around, and why all the negativity?
Well, cosplay has a lot of negativity. That's a fact. People often forget it's just supposed to be fun and dressing up and just doing some random shit and talking to people with the same interests and whatever. But lately, or the last few years, it's gone really downhill. Like, not only in cosplay, because I've heard like a story from a certain person that does dealer rooms at conventions. I think you know who I'm talking about, and you might know who I'm talking about. So like he does game rooms at conventions, and now there's another group, whom I shall not name, that also does game rooms. And basically what he told me was that people that he knew who came to game at his game room came to him and were like, do you know what this other group is doing right now? And he's like, no. Well, when people are gaming at your game room, like one of those other people from the other group is constantly coming over to them and telling them to come to their game room because they have better games and because they say your games are bad and so. Now I know this guy mostly puts out old school retro games at his game room, and the other ones are more current gen games. And so they were like talking to people like, oh, why are you gaming at this guy's game room? He only has old games. Come to our game room, we have the new games, it's a lot better. This guy's game room sucks. Whatever, like, I'm like, why are you putting your time doing that shit? It's not like you're going to make more money off them or anything. It's just, but yeah, their game room didn't draw as much people, so they were just trying to undermine his game room. So I think that's also very sad. It's like ruining the whole convention scene, not only in cosplay, but like I said, also in these kind of things, like just trying to fuck each other over for a bit of extra attention. So yeah, just a little story I wanted to tell, just to show it's not only cosplay. So Bart, like this was your first try at the podcast, or at the actual being very active in one of our videos. We did a video before, but you basically just ate some macaroni, mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, yeah. I'm that guy, yeah. I know.
I know you were afraid of doing this, but now that you're actually doing it,
It's not about being afraid. I'm not used to it. I think my English isn't great. Yeah, it feels like strange to me.
Nelios, how do you think he's doing?
I think he's doing pretty well in a certain point. Of
Yeah,
course,
that's only-
our
only
English is
for-
also not
Of course
tip
not,
top
because
shape,
we
but-
are native English speakers, so obviously we make mistakes or we have an accent or whatever.
Yeah, and
It's
sometimes
it's
it's
only
difficult
normal.
to get on to the right
Yeah,
words.
sometimes we have to think a bit, oh, which word
Yeah,
do we use at this certain time? So we all fuck up at some point sometimes, it's normal.
But I think sometimes it's fun to see videos like that on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
I watch all my movies and all my series, and I play all my games with English subtitles and English in English.
Yeah, but,
Everything in English. My books are even in English.
but it's sometimes fun to watch other people who aren't English or don't speak very good English. Not in the sense of ridiculing them, but just sometimes it's nice to see the effort they put in it, or it's a little bit funny, okay, but
I think sometimes they also sound a bit more genuine than American speakers. It's more heart behind it.
yeah, more
Yeah, but-
relaxed in a
Yeah.
scene.
There are a couple of YouTubers that I watch, and they are from America, and
Yeah, I'm not saying all American, but
yeah,
but was it as bad as you expected it to be, or are you having fun? Is it enjoyable?
it's enjoyable, but I'm afraid about the reactions.
Well, you don't have to be afraid. Nobody watches our videos, so it's like 1 or 2 people. So
Maybe 8, but
yeah,
but if it's about a game like we did on Elder Scrolls Online, and
yeah, that gets more views.
or
Yeah, because it's
But those videos are probably going to get blocked when copyright shit comes through.
or
So
when
yeah, that's going to be so much pain, because I watch a really heavy amount of Let's Plays, and all of a sudden that's gone. I cannot imagine this. I really cannot imagine this.
well, it's wait and see. I guess what's going to pop out.
Do you know how many Let's Players are out there?
A lot.
Really a lot. Not only in the US or in the UK, it's everywhere, and that's all gone. That's people investment that are taken away. That's not cool. There are some people who have quit their jobs for it, to make a decent amount of time to put in the Let's Plays and YouTube channels, and that's gone. Ooh, that's not good.
Well, for those who aren't familiar with this new copyright law called Article 13, there are tons of videos on YouTube or tons of articles to read up about it and why it sucks balls if it's applied badly, as it is, from all things I've seen, most likely going to be applied, but there's still a bit of hope, I guess. But at the moment it's just wait and see what
I don't know
happens.
when the exact date is when it goes to online.
I've heard
I don't
it could
know.
take up to 1 or 2 years. But it's already been approved.
Yeah, but I hope they can make adjustments to it.
They say they're currently tweaking it.
Yeah, because you cannot fool me that they're gonna apply this new law and a huge amount of YouTubers and other people streaming on other channels are losing their business, losing their money. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah, but it just shows this law was enforced by a bunch of people who have no idea how the internet works.
Yeah,
That's how most laws are created, by a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking
that's all
about.
for government.
Also, big companies who pay
Yeah.
Big money.
big money, they say if I'm from I don't like that. Too much of my product is being shown, and go and
But I don't know, the big companies like YouTube or Twitch or something else, are they endorsing that?
They are against it.
Yeah, I thought so, but
I'm talking, it's mostly big companies like musicians, music
Yeah.
companies, movie companies, TV.
Artists.
TV
Yeah.
is also a lot, because they're losing viewers to YouTube.
oh yeah,
And now they found the perfect way to
yeah.
fight
screw
back.
them. Certain.
But I think YouTube, I hope they're against it. Stupid not to be.
But you found something better than YouTube. I mean,
Yeah, it's,
something in development.
Yeah, it's in development, you can access it. It's called Floatplane.
Shout out to.
Floatplane, because it's you have Linus Tech Tips. And a different side of the branch is Floatplane. And some people who work at Linus Tech Tips now work at Floatplane, but it's all under the Floatplane media group. So there are currently 3 YouTube channels on it. It's Kale from Bitwit, it's called Bitwit Ultra, Linus Tech Tips of course, and Tech Deals. It's you have to pay for it. It's a subscription. It's $3 per channel a month, and the bit rate is much better than on YouTube. The playback of the videos is actually better than YouTube.
Do you also have to pay to upload?
I don't know. I don't know because I never upload something, and. Now, I think they just released it last week. You can now live stream at Floatplane. So when Linus Tech Tips, their show, the Van Show, they're normally streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Now it's YouTube, Twitch and Floatplane. So 3 things the same. So, and they are working on it to make it bigger, so then they can get more YouTubers on it. So I think it's very good.
Well,
because, and that's also a big improvement, because like Kale of Bitwit, he posts his videos on YouTube, but he posts his videos on Floatplane a week earlier. So you can watch the videos a week earlier than on YouTube. So that's kind of neat. So the only downside is you have to pay. It's not much. $3 for one account a month. I think it's not much.
For each YouTuber you're following is $3.
Yeah,
so
it's now 3 channels, so 3 against 3. So.
But we'll have to see how that evolves, I guess.
Yeah, when I see at my billing state, it's 2.3 euros, so it's not much. So 2.3 applied by 3, so it's not much. So Netflix is even expensive.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So. And YouTube Red is also expensive. So.
Yeah.
And YouTube Red you cannot get it here in Belgium.
No?
No.
I never tried because I don't give a fuck about YouTube Red.
It's only in the US, I think the UK and a couple other countries, but not much.
Yeah, well, most of the stuff on YouTube Red is pretty much shit.
Yeah, but
it's like that
YouTube Red
movie.
Yeah, and YouTube Red has
I think
if you don't use the ad blocker, you can get YouTube Red to remove the ads.
I think the only decent show I know of that is playing on YouTube Red is that show from the guy from Vsauce.
I don't think the most people are getting YouTube Red to watch the content on it. I think they're just getting it to avoid the articles in between it. The commercials, yeah. But when you have a decent ad blocker on it, I especially use ad block for YouTube. They can do it the same and it's free.
So talking about YouTube and to end the video, what kind of content do you guys think we should like focus more on or continue in the next year for our channel?
Actually, I don't know, because it's a pretty big niche market. You have to be specialized in one thing. You cannot do all of the things.
Well, I don't know about that. I like to do different things, because if you always do the same thing, you'll eventually get bored with it. And I like to do whatever I feel like doing at that moment.
It depends on what would you do.
I would like to continue the stuff I'm doing now, like the reviews, the food reviews, the item reviews,
the game
reviews.
But
we have to watch out.
That's under the banner of reviews.
Yeah, reviews. So
you're gonna get a review channel. So you have a review channel. So you have your Let's Play channel or something music.
I have a few Let's Play stuff on it, but it's not a lot, because I know it's going to get very difficult soon. But
and it's expensive to do that.
I think I also want to try to do more convention reviews, even though it tends to piss off a lot of people, but I don't care. I also want to try to do some sort of movie review, and also try to like this, the podcast, but not always here on location, but also, let's say, using Discord, maybe more organized. And also I want to do some extra show more based into horror, occult. Use the green screen a bit more, get some atmosphere in there. That's just my opinion. You've been in most videos with me, so
this year, yes. I like the food reviews that we do very much. I like the
movie.
Not the movie, but the fairs we go to.
Conventions,
yes. I was gone, but and I would like a little bit of with the game Let's Play, but as you say, Article 13.
And it's expensive when you have to get the right equipment to do it.
That also, it's maybe in a later date when it's not more practical.
And it does not always work, because when I look at some videos of all the shinies, he's recording something, he's talking through it, and then recording the audio films. So he's left over with the video, and then he have to talk over it. So, and it's not ideal. So
personally, I am more of a fan of reviewing games, because you just need a bit of the footage, and then you can.
And Let's Play, it's.
You have to be like funny and entertaining all the time. Otherwise, people won't keep watching. And that's my problem. When I'm actually gaming, I tend to be very silent.
Yeah, you have to talk a lot. You have to point out on some things, and then you have to see how you want to approach this. Are you going to approach this always on the higher side? That I mean, on the highest difficulty, or the normal difficulty, or the easy difficulty. that's all things that you have to reconsider.
Yeah, and what kind of host do you want to be? Do you want to
Yeah.
be more serious? Do you want to make jokes all the time?
Yeah. Do you
Like-
want to make 100% playthroughs, or you want to make just
Play the game. And
play the
whatever.
game and do whatever the hell you want?
I think for me personally, it's a lot more enjoyable and easier when you're playing, like for example, an MMO together with someone you know, like
Yes.
him, and because we've done that before with the Elder Scrolls,
Online.
with the Somerset event.
Yeah.
And we were just, the thing was you had to visit certain key locations in the game, and if you did all the locations, you got a special item. And we were making a video showing you us going to those locations, and this is location, that going
Yeah.
on. And at the same time, we were just like bouncing off of each other, talking, and
Yeah.
mostly talking shit to each other and being like assholes to each other and whatever. But that was really fun video, and it got a lot of views, and people really liked it.
Yeah, they found it informative, which key points they had to go to, but I think it was also, in a sense, nice.
Because it wasn't like so then you have to go that way on the map, we walk that, walk, this is the location,
Yeah.
next location, blah blah. No, in between we were also talking, making fun.
That's what I like about the 100% playthroughs, because when you're stuck in your own game, you can see that playthrough and then you can move on, and I think it's important because when you are an achievement hunter or you want all the collectibles and you don't know where that specific collectible is, you can watch that video and they're gonna show it for you. So, but it's not easy.
But what I would very much like, not the let's play a long time, but
Just
more
smaller,
smaller, but with friends, so you
Yeah.
have a conversation,
Yeah.
not only about the game, but also something between friends.
Yeah, like videos where the viewer feels like he's actually like, for example, sitting on the couch with some fellow friends, gaming and talking and
Joking.
like a really
Yeah.
cozy, homely feel a bit to it. That's what I like. So yeah, this was our little first time podcast, the Council of Night Owls. Now we're hopefully going to continue this and improve on it, make it more organized. Like I said, it's not always going to be here. Might be on Discord or some other types of messenger or another location perhaps. With certain subjects, we'll just see what's trending at the time or what we feel talking about at that moment, or maybe what people ask us to talk about.
In the comments.
We'll see how it goes. We hope you enjoyed this little first time Christmas special, and I wish you a happy Christmas
And holidays.
and good holidays and whatever you're celebrating, and have a nice drink, but don't get too drunk. Cheers.
Yeah, my glass is empty, so
They're all empty. And they all went drinking.